I'm hoping, Boo, that we could get a good poop today, okay? Can you give me a good poop today? Give me a good poop so I could send it in and then you could be a free man, okay?
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
I just got the microbiome test for Boo. It says kitty biome. It takes guts to be healthy. It says from diarrhea, hairballs, and GI issues to allergies and skin and coat problems, a healthy gut can improve your cat's life. So here's what we see when we open it up. 3 simple steps to a healthier cat. 1, assess. Test your cat's gut microbiome. Receive a report in about 2 weeks. Review it with your veterinarian or kitty biome. 2, restore. Use kitty biome supplements to replace bacteria that are missing and restore balance to your cat's microbiome. 3, maintain. Address ongoing dietary needs or symptoms. If your cat's gut is severely imbalanced, additional supplements may help support digestive health. And it comes with the gut health test guide. So here's what we get. We get a pair of gloves, 2 sample tubes, 1 pack of swabs, 1 plastic bag with absorbent sheet, 1 wooden stick, a return mailer, and a test kit box. If you order 2 tests, your box will contain twice the amount of each item listed above. This says, to collect a poop sample, you will need the test kit box and everything inside. For best results, we recommend discontinuing probiotics for 24 hours before collecting a poop sample. Boo had probiotics this morning. That means I can't collect a poop sample until tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to wait for that. So here's everything that was in the box. We have the gloves. We have the 2 little containers of fluid that you put the stool samples in. And these are the sample tubes, and you stand up the sample tubes in here when you're collecting the poop and putting it in there. Then it comes with a wooden tongue depressor, and then it has 2 sterile cotton swabs. Cute little sticker. This is the mailer that you send the tubes back in with the samples. And then it has the guide that explains the rest of the process. It is 8:26 a.m. Good morning, Stella. How are you today? Good morning, Simba. How are you today? So Stella and Simba got weighed today. And so for the past week, they've been primarily eating low carb as much as they want. Now they did have one day where they were eating more crunchies than I would have liked them to, which was the day of the extractions when Grandma and Grandpa were here. So all things considered, they both gained 0.2 pounds over the past week. So what I think I'm going to start doing is limiting their portions, because for the past day or 2, they've been getting homemade raw food for every meal, and homemade raw food is much more calorie dense than canned foods are. So I think I'm going to limit them to about 2.5 ounces per meal, and we'll see how that goes this week and how much they weigh next week. Here's Stella. She's hanging out by this box. I want to cut windows and doors into the box and then give it to her as a cardboard cat house. She hasn't had one in years, and she used to love the one that she had. Good morning, Boo. Good morning, Boo. Here's Boo. So Boo's still in his room by himself. I spent some time with him yesterday. And here's the plan. So today is supposed to be the 3rd deworming day for the cats. And then, like, today's the last day, then they're done. But because I'm trying to get Boo's microbiome test done today so I could finally let him out of this room, I think I'm going to push off the dewormer another day or 2. I want to see what today brings. So I have to scoop all the litter this morning, And then once the litter is scooped, the next time Boo makes a poop, I can collect a sample for the test, and then he's done in this room. The only reason I've been keeping him in this room right now is because I want to keep his poop isolated from everyone else's, so that way I know which poop is his, and I can send it in for the test. And it's going to be harder to keep him in this room if I let him out. Like, he's been in this room and happy, so that's why I've been keeping him in here. But if I let him out to the rest of the house and then try to put him back in here, it's probably going to be more difficult to keep him in here. I don't want to jinx anything, but he has not tried to come out of this room once. He has not tried anything. He has not been howling at the door. He has not been crying. How's your mouth? You could see he's missing his tooth. So he's just been on his best behavior, right, Boo? So that's why I don't want to change anything. Right now, he's still in his recovery mode. So it's been... Today is the 5th day after the extractions. So, you know, it's been a good 5 days for me and for him. I'm also not going to give him his antibiotic today because of the microbiome test. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the microbiome test comes out, considering he's been on antibiotics for the past 5 days. It's going to be really interesting to see how the microbiome test comes out, considering he's been on antibiotics for the past 5 days. And that will wreak havoc on the microbiome, right, Bo? But as you can see, he's in a good mood. He's been rolling around a lot over the past 2 days, like whenever I try to pet him or play with him. And I have not been trying to play with him much at all because I want him to rest, relax. I don't want him, you know, dislodging the blood clot that forms in the tooth socket. So we had a little bit of playtime with the wand toy yesterday, but it was just very gentle playtime. And you can see he's back to rolling around. Boo has not been rolling around in quite some time, so it's good to see him rolling around. I think there's some freeze-dried chicken on the rug, and he has some on the back of his neck right now. Yeah, that's some freeze-dried chicken. Okay, Boo. You happy, boy? He's thanking me. He's thanking me because he says he feels much better now, right, Boo? So I did not give Boo painkillers yesterday. And I did not give him painkillers the night before yesterday because the last time I gave him the painkillers was when he had that like weird eye issue, and I mean he just looked horrible. I don't know what was going on with that, but I don't know, maybe he was just all doped up. So I didn't give it to him and he's been fine. I have zero pain, so I'm gonna assume that his situation is similar because he's been acting normal. He's not been hiding. He's not been lethargic. Like, his behavior has not been the behavior of a cat in any kind of pain at all. Okay, Boo. All right. So now I'm going to start scooping litter. I'm going to start here. Then I'll do all the other upstairs litter boxes. Then I'll go downstairs, scoop the litter. Once all the litter is scooped, then everyone can have their breakfast. Okay, Boo? So also yesterday and the day before, I've been feeding the kittens on separate plates, separate bowls. I'm trying to get them used to eating separately, so when I give them the dewormer, they'll all have their portion. Another reason why I want to wait on the dewormer is because sometimes to get the other cats to eat it, I have to isolate them in this room. So, like if I want Stella or Simba to eat their dewormer, make sure no one else is eating it or they don't walk away, I put them in this room by themselves, and then they take care of that. So that's another reason why I'm hoping, Boo, that we could get a good poop today, okay? Can you give me a good poop today? Give me a good poop so I could send it in, and then you could be a free man, okay? All right, Boo. This morning, the cats are getting homemade raw food with a little bit of freeze-dried chicken on top. They're getting 7 individual bowls, and Ringo and little Eva are sharing a bowl. I don't know why. There's plenty of bowls. Someone needs to move over. So what I did with this batch of raw cat food is I chunked up some of the boneless meat. So they get small bone fragments about the size of a grain of rice when I grind the chicken with bones. And then there was also some boneless meat that I used, And what I did with that was I cut it into small pieces. I don't know, maybe like an inch square, maybe a half-inch square, to give them some texture, which is good for their mouths. I did not do that to all of the boneless meat, maybe like half of the boneless meat that I used. So I use a calculation that's based on like 30% of bone. When I'm using chicken drumsticks with bone have 30% bone, and then chicken thighs with bone have 15% bone. So based on those calculations, I then figure out how much additional meat to add to that, because I want to end up with around 10% bone. When a cat eats a whole mouse, they're getting about 5% bone. And when they're eating, let's say, a whole bird, like a small bird, they're getting about 10% bone. So between 5 and 10% bone should be a normal ratio for a cat if we're going to base that upon like what their prey consists of. So that's where the calculations come from. So they're all enjoying their food this morning, which is good. I'm going to go upstairs, see what the upstairs cats are doing. Then I'm going to come back down and I'll clean up the plates. I'm not going to give anyone seconds. Everyone had 2.75 ounces of food, plus a tiny bit more because of the freeze-dried chicken on top. So that should be plenty of food for them. Boo ate all of his food except for one of the chicken chunks. I'm going to give him a little bit more because I do have a little bit left over. So this is my big mixing bowl. This is like my new method of mixing the food for the cats. And I'll give him, I don't know, maybe like another ounce, half an ounce. So I just gave him a small portion with some freeze-dried chicken on top, and then I'll give the rest to the downstairs cats. Look what they did down here. They licked their plates clean. It's nice to know that they like my food. So this is what they're getting. They're getting a very small portion of homemade raw food, just basically what was left in the bowl. And they're getting a little bit of freeze-dried chicken on top and 2 of the blue wilderness treats. Look at the new water bowl that I got for the cats. I got it at Hobby Lobby. It was on sale. And I really like it because it's like a footed bowl. So it's a bit elevated. And they look really pretty and cute. And it looks like the cats like them. So I might actually go buy another 1 or 2 of them, because I feel like all the water bowls in the house are really old and need to be updated. But I was waiting to see if any of the cats were actually using them, and it seems that they really like them. What's going on here? Oh, you still hungry? You want more food? You want more food? Okay. I'll give you guys, I'll open a can. You could have like a little bit from a can. Okay? That's it. Because you guys are still growing kittens. Here we go. Want more food? Yeah, they licked those bowls clean. I opened up a 5.5 ounce can of this 4Health chicken and whitefish dinner for the cats. And then I split it up 7 ways. And that's what they're getting, just a little tiny portion, that's it. It is 11:30 a.m. and this was a beautiful bunch of catnip that I've been drying out by the windows. I had it hanging by this binder clip. It was just like hanging by the windows like this. And it was all dried out, and I was just about to harvest it off of this bunch. I was going to harvest it into a container, make my own dried catnip, and look, the cats got to it. Like, I don't know if it was Sammy or Nancy or what. I'm going to blame Sammy because she's the jumper. And she was able to, someone was able to jump up to the window, get this off of where it was hanging, and it looks like they've eaten all the catnip. So there's some cardboard down here from where they were tearing up a box. And there's also some catnip. And there's Nancy. I blame Nancy and I blame Sammy. Sammy's hiding right now. So this is where it was hanging. The binder clip was hanging here off of like this old curtain hook. And here is the windowsill. So someone stood on the windowsill and they got the binder clip off, so I'm going to blame Sammy because she's small enough to do that. Good morning, Boo. It is 8:45 a.m. Boo has had 2 squeeze-ups this morning, and I'm giving him his 3rd squeeze-up. The reason why is because I'm trying to get him to poop. I put some fish oil in the first one, and if a cat has like constipation or if you want them to poop, it's good to give them some oil. Same thing for humans. Take a teaspoon of cod liver oil or a teaspoon of olive oil first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. That gets things moving. So I'm giving Boo a bunch of squeeze-ups to try to get things moving for him. I also gave him the fish oil. But his system might be off because of the antibiotics that he's been on. So yeah, I'm going to give him his 3rd squeeze-up, and then I got to get moving with everyone else in the house. So here's Boo. He ate about half of his food, and crunchies are like gold around here, so I literally just give him 4 crunchies, and hopefully he'll finish the rest of his food. All right, it's snack time for the kittens. They each get 1 or 2 little treats that they have to eat out of my hand before they have their meal. Ready, guys? Let me sit down. I gotta sit down. Move, I gotta be at your level. Come on. Let me sit down. Hey, Ringo, good morning. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Here. Whoops. Oh, Richard got a double. You got a double. Here, Nancy. There were 2 stuck together. Here's Iggy. Okay. Who's next? Ringo. Ringo. Look at what's going on here, guys. So I had a talk with the cats before I put their food down, and I specifically told them, I said, everyone's eating and everyone is going to pick a bowl. And look what they did. This is the first time. They all picked their own bowl. And they're all eating. Little Eva just backed away. I don't know why. Maybe she doesn't like the food. I noticed that Little Eva tends to like canned food better than the raw food. But all 7 picked a bowl and they were all eating. I hope she doesn't have a problem with her teeth or anything. I think she's just not the biggest fan of this food. The other cats really enjoy it. Little Eva, why are you not eating? Well, she eats the canned food fine. So the goal of doing this is to get them all eating out of their own bowl at the same time. So, where you going, Eva? So that when I give them the dewormer, they all eat their dewormer dose. You gonna go use the litter box? You gonna go use litter? Okay, you go use litter. Oh, I'm sorry, did you want a pet? No, she's afraid of me. She doesn't want pets. The whole point of this exercise with giving them their individual bowls is to get them all eating at the same time. So when I give them the dewormer, either later today or tomorrow, hopefully, they will all eat their dose without me having to chase one of the cats around trying to get them to eat. And it's usually Little Eva that I have to try to get to eat. Now, when I do give them the dewormer, I've been giving it to them in baby food. So they all tend to like it. And they all lick it up. And I just give them like 2 heaping teaspoons of the baby food. And it's either chicken or turkey that I've been giving it to them. Sometimes I give them beef also. But yeah, they're doing good. They're eating their breakfast. I'm going to go upstairs, see what the other cats are up to as far as their breakfast and get the morning moving. Look at this. So I just distributed some of the leftover food to the bowls. And there's Little Eva. She was eating it. Maybe she was only tasting it. There, she's going to another bowl. Maybe she doesn't like eating so close to the other cats. I don't know. So for each meal, I've been giving the cats roughly 1.5 pints of food. So about 3 cups of food, which I then mix about a cup of warm water into. So you figure 3 cups of food plus a cup of water, so that ends up being probably around 4 cups of food. So that'll be around 32 ounces. And there's 11 cats, so they're each getting almost 3 ounces of food. So that's been working out really well. It's a really good portion for them. So the next time I make the raw food, I'm going to pack it in both the 1 pint containers as well as the smaller 1 cup containers. So a pint is 2 cups. So those are the containers I've been using when I freeze the homemade raw food, just because I can store more in the freezers that way. But I also had the 1 cup containers that I haven't really been using, but I'm going to start using them more. I'm probably just going to use them to get rid of them because I'm almost done with all of the pint containers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of the 5.5 ounce cans of the 4Health, and I'm just going to divide it among the 8 bowls. And anyone who wants to eat that, probably little Eva, can eat that. I put the canned food in the bowls and she went straight to the canned food. Today is the first day or the first morning that she's actually been approaching me. It was like she was like, I want canned food or I want different food. But even when I opened the can and I held the can out to her, she hissed and backed away. She didn't come near the can to smell it or anything. But she is making small progress. Look what they've done to the blankets on this daybed. They've made like a little door opening where they just easily pop in and out. It's almost 10:30 and I've been playing with Boo. We've been playing with this wand toy over here, and Boo's been under the day sofa. He's been playing so much like Sammy, like how Sammy plays. And I just left the room because I wanted to get him a salmon squeeze up. He still has not pooped yet. And usually when I feed the cat salmon, that'll help them poop. And he had salmon for dinner, right, Boo? You had salmon for dinner. But you still haven't pooped yet. So I thought I would give him a salmon squeeze up, but we don't have any left. So I'm going to give him some churros. Okay, I just gave him a tuna with salmon churro. It's a pink one. And he's eating that. I think I'm going to go get ready for bed while he eats that. I'll give him the other one right now so he'll have 2 to work on. And then I'll come back in and hang out with him. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.